Do you read the terms of service of every website you use? Okay, so this is the topic of what's called shrink wrap contracts. This is where, even before the internet, did you ever have this where you open up a box and inside are some terms of service and a warranty, and you're like, well, hey, I already bought this. How could I be bound to this contract? Well, there's actually what's called shrink wrap law. And that simply says, after you've bought something, if you open up the shrink wrap and see the product inside, and then there are some contractual rights that you have a reasonable period of time, sometimes it's limited by the language in the contract, to return the product if you disagree with it. Why do I share that? Because by analogy, websites are the same thing. If you go to a website and there's some sort of terms of use and you have to check the box, or maybe you download an app and you have to approve the terms and conditions, usually you have a reasonable period of time. And by the way, what's reasonable? Prompt. So it might be a day, it might be a few days, but it's not a month, it's not a year. You have a reasonable period of time to return that product or delete the app or go away from the website. So do I, as a lawyer, read those? Absolutely not. I mean, let's face it, it's pages, if not hundreds of pages on some of these. And there's no way that we can possibly spend all of our time doing that. So realistically, it's not possible to read it. But every once in a while, I will, especially when the terms are really important. So, for example, if something costs a lot of money, I might take a look at the terms and conditions then. Or if my health and life and safety might be at risk. I went whitewater rafting in northern Wisconsin a few years ago. There's a resort there that offers incredible whitewater rafting, comparable to what you could find in like the Colorado River, but it's right here in Wisconsin. And before I signed the waiver on that, I read through it just to make sure there wasn't anything that I wouldn't feel comfortable with. You might say, well, what are you looking for? What wouldn't you feel comfortable with? Well, for example, if they're negligent, I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm willing to be responsible for myself and my own negligence, but if they're negligent, especially if they're grossly negligent, I think they should be responsible for that, not me. So that kind of thing. So, as a lawyer, do I read the terms of service of every website I use? No. It's pretty rare when I do. And when I do, it's when there's a lot of money or a lot of risk involved. All right, that wraps it up for today. You can get our emails. To do that, go to aaronhall.com/free, enter your email address, and you'll also get access to exclusive videos that aren't available to the public.